Hi, this is Peter. In this video I will show you the game between John Oldman and Janko Kavka. This game was played in Štrbské Pleso, Czech Republic in 1893. In this game John Oldman had white pieces, and I will show you this game as a tactical exercise. As you can see, all the pieces are on the board, only the pawns on the C file have been traded off, and white is missing the pawn on H file as well. Okay, it is white to move in this position, and John Oldman played a brilliant move here. John Oldman played rook to a3. What is this? Thought Janko Kavka, and played the most logical continuation, bishop takes on a3. And John Oldman of course played bishop takes on a3. Now let's have a look at this position. Now rook to a3 is threatening rook to h3. Very strong move. Bishop takes on a3 is the most logical continuation, of course, but the problem is that bishop on e7 is very important defender of the king side. So in fact, at the cost of exchange, black is removing his very active piece. And also, as far as white side goes, bishop on c1 wouldn't be effective. It would stay ineffective because two pawns and the knight should move first. And now bishop is on a3, and bishop is perhaps on the best diagonal in this position, so bishop has been activated. And John Oldman combined those ideas all into one, and at the cost of exchange he improved the position of his bishop, got rid of the bishop on e7. And the real question is it worth it? Let's have a look. Janko Kavka continued with rook to e8. Now queen to h2 from Oldman. Queen is defending the pawn on f4. For the time being the pawn is defended by the rook, but the rook would love to come to h3, and then the pawn would have to have another defender, so it has a queen now. Janko Kavka played rook to c8. Rook is trying to get to c3. Invasion on the third rank. No such luck. John Oldman played rook to f3, stopping this, and now rook is coming to h3 on the next move. h6 has been played from Kavka. This position is very difficult. Perhaps h6 is in fact the best move. Rook to h3 has been played. H takes on g5, and John Oldman played another brilliant move in this position, rook to h7, allowing rook to c3, but John Oldman correctly calculated that it doesn't work. Knight to h6 check has been played. King takes on h7 from Kavka, the best move under the circumstances. Kavka is sacrificing his queen, is giving back his queen, but in return he actually gets enough material. As far as material goes, this position is about equal. King to g8. John Oldman played knight takes on d8, rook takes on d8, bishop to b2, attacking rook, rook to e3, bishop to g4, knight takes on f4, knight to f3. If queen takes knight, then Kavka has in mind a very nice tactic. Rook to f8 would be very unpleasant because the king is open. So if queen takes on f4, then rook to f8, attacking queen, queen has to move, and then perhaps rook to e1 check. Very unpleasant. So in this position John Oldman played better move, knight to f3, rook takes on f3, bishop takes on f3, knight to f8, bishop to c1, knight 8 to g6, bishop to h5, rook to c8, bishop takes on g6, knight takes on g6, bishop takes on g5, rook to c4, and queen to h5 has been played. And in this position Janko Kavka resigned. There is absolutely no defense here, although perhaps he played the best defensive line anyway. Okay, let's check other defenses. So in this position h6 has been played, and we saw it didn't work. So let's try rook to c7, kind of a waiting move, then rook to h3, knight d to f8, defending the pawn, but the problem is that white can play a winning move here. White has way too many threats. If the threat of rook takes on h7 is tackled, then white can play knight to f6 check. This is winning. G takes on f6, G takes on f6, knight to d7, and if now rook takes on h7, then knight takes on f6. Very nice trap. So better move is bishop to e7, queen takes on e7, f takes on e7, rook takes on e7, rook takes on h7 now, knight d to f8, rook to h3, king to g7, bishop to h5, king to g8. Those are funny moves, but really black is tight. He has no good choices here. Bishop takes on g6, knight takes on g6, f5, e takes on f5, rook to h7, f4, queen to h6, f5, rook takes on e7, rook takes on e7, queen to g5, rook to g7, queen to d8 check, king to h7, king to f2, rook to g8, queen to c7 check, rook to g7, queen takes on b6, knight to h4, knight to f3, knight takes on f3, king takes on f3, bishop to c8, and queen takes on a5. And we can stop here. White is easily winning now because of the passed pawns. Okay, so this is not the best idea to play rook to c7 as a waiting move. So instead, in this position, instead of rook to c8, let's try queen to c7. Then still rook to f3, then preventing queen to c3, rook a to c8, but now bishop to d6. So queen must go back, rook to h3, knight d to f8, and now even before we play knight to f6 check would be winning in this position, but even stronger move is knight to f3, rook to c3, and now knight to f6 check. G takes on f6, G takes on f6, queen takes on d6, bishop is way too strong, e takes on d6, rook takes on f3, rook takes on f3, and knight to d7. And this position is easily winning for white. Okay, so let's see the last contestant, number 4. In this position, there's also very cute try. Knight to e7 is the start, queen to h2, and now knight to f5. So white is able to win back the exchange, but this would actually not be the end of the story. If bishop takes rook, then queen takes bishop, and actually black would be able to hold this position. Perhaps. Rook to f3 is a better move. With the same plan, rook to h3, rook to c8, rook to h3, h6, and now knight takes on h6 is winning. But again, even stronger is knight to f3, rook to c3, g takes on h6, g6, bishop takes on f8, queen takes on f8, knight to g5, rook takes on h3, queen takes on h3, queen to e8, h7 check, king to h8, queen to c3, so queen is trying to get via the c file, that's why black would have to play queen to b8. But now knight takes on f7 check, king takes on h7, knight to g5 check, king to g7, knight takes on e6 check, king to f7, knight to g5 check, king to g7, and the winning move is queen to h3 in this position. So queen would go back. So let's go to the starting position again. Of course there are other moves here, but they will all transpose into the same lines sooner or later. So the only difference here is that if white played c3 instead of rook to a3, that would also be a very good attacking configuration. Bishop would come to c2 and it would hit the pawn on h7. But John Oldman's choice was to play rook to a3, slightly more threatening. So again, if rook to a3, then perhaps the best move is rook to c8, and then rook to h3 would be played, and white would in fact be slightly better, but perhaps this would offer a lot better resistance for black. But this is for another game, for another time. And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next ones. Thanks for watching. Bye.